Dear students, good morning and welcome back to the social science classes. Today you are going to learn about a new lesson from the history part. Chapter 10.
The Chalukyas of Badami and Pallavas of Kanchi. The Chalukyas of Badami 540 CE to 753 CE. Many powerful kings ruled in Karnataka in 6th century BCE. We see that in 6th century CE our Karnataka was ruled by the many powerful kings. They were the Chalukyas of Badami and they established their supremacy in Karnataka. Those are the Chalukyas of Badami. They were established their rule in the area of our Karnataka and they are the supremacy in the area of our Karnataka for over all the 2 centuries. They ruled in our Karnataka for over the 2 centuries. They ruled immense glory, they ruled with the immense glory. Their rule is called as a immense glory, and the Chalukya dynasty occupies an important position of the history of South India. In our Karnataka we see that the Chalukya dynasty are more important dynasty. In our whole over our India, the Chalukya dynasty is called as a main important and prominent dynasty who ruled in our South India, and it is one of the powerful dynasty of our India. It is also called as a powerful dynasty of our India. The rule of the Chalukya began in 6th century and ended in middle part of the 8th century. The rule of the Chalukyas are began in the 6th century BC and ended in the 8th century BC. Raja Jayasimha is the founder. Raja Jayasimha was the founder of this dynasty. Who was the founder of this dynasty? Raja Jayasimha was the founder of this dynasty. This dynasty means the Chalukya dynasty. The most powerful and noteworthy emperor of this dynasty is Pulikeshi. The most important and prominent king of this dynasty is Pulikeshi II. Overpowering the Ganga, Kadambas and Alupas extended his empire. He was defeated with Gangas, Kadambas and Alupas and he was extended his kingdom. The Pallavas were at the peak of the glory in the south of Deccan. The Pallavas who ruled in the area of our South India, and they are this period is a glory of the South India, South Deccan. Mahendra Varma. Since Mahendra Varma did not accept the sovereignty, and Pulikeshi he defeated him, and the Pulikeshi was defeated with Mahendra Varma. And when the Harshavardhana, who was ruling in North India and advocated up to the bank of the river Narmada, he was also defeated with Harshavardhana. Harshavardhana was a ruler of North India. He was ruled in the area of North India, and Pulikeshi stopped him to earn the title called Dakshina Patishwara. He was stopped to earn the title called Dakshina Patishwara, the Lord of Peninsula. I'll see 3 side sea and 1 side land. It is called peninsula, and the Harshavardhana was wanted to become the Dakshina Patishwara. On that time Pulikeshi was stopped for his daring act. Pulikeshi could not rule the whole of this kingdom from the center. Pulikeshi did not rule his whole kingdom as a one center. He appointed his younger brother Kubuja Vishnuvardhana as a provincial head of Vangi. He was divided his rule because his rule was very big. On that cause he was divided his rule with many provinces that are. He was given first one is Vangi to Kubuja Vishnuvardhana as a provincial head, and Jayasimha as the head of Gujarat, and Jayasimha became the head of Gujarat. Later the Chalukya ruled that the kingdom for around the 5 centuries under the 5 centuries under the name of Chalukyas of Vengi. After that, the Chalukyas are ruled for 5 centuries in our Karnataka as the name of Chalukyas of Vengi. Hunosang visited Chalukya's capital. He given the detailed description of Pulikeshin II. Hunosang was a Chinese traveler who was visited to our India and he was visited to the Chalukya's capital, and he has wrote the detailed description of Pulikeshin II, how the role of Pulikeshin II, how he was established there, how he was his administrative system. Those things he was wrote in his book. And Chalukyas, and he was given information about the Chalukya's kingdom. He has said that the king was just a kind, and the army was disciplined, and the soldiers was courageous warrior who were not afraid of the death. He has given in his description that the king was just a part of the system, and soldiers are the courageous who are warrior in the war field, and they were played a more important role. They did not feel afraid. They did not have any bit of the afraid of death. The subjects were lover of the truth and content. The subjects means the people who are the common people who are living in this area. They are love the truth. They self-respecting and prosperous, loyal to the king. The subjects are loyal to the king. They respected the king very much, and the king loved his subject. The king was respected his common people, and common peoples are respected to the king. Through that we say that they give respect and take respect. The Pulikeshin II was the optimistic emperor. He had friendly relation with the foreign kings. Pulikeshin II has developed the friendly relationship with foreign kings too. Arab historian reported that they had diplomatic relationship with the Persian king Khusro II. They had means Pulikeshin had a good relationship with Khusro II. Now let's move on. After some years, the Pallava king Narasimha Varma first took revenge on the Chalukya for the defeat of his father Mahendra Varma. When Pulikeshin II was defeated with Mahendra Varma, his son became the power, and the Narasimha Varma was take revenge. Narasimha Varma is the Pallava king, and he was wanted to take revenge with the Chalukyas. He occupied the Chalukya kingdom and captured the Tapi during that time, and the last Chalukya's king is Kirti Varma. Who is the last Chalukya king? The last Chalukya king is Kirti Varma. The Rashtrakuta captured the kingdom. The whole Rashtrakuta was captured the whole. Let's move on. The contribution of Chalukya. Chalukyas are who ruled in our Karnataka, and they had given more importance, and they had given more development for the Kannada land, language and culture, and they protected the religion, literature, art and architecture. They are those people. The Chalukyas kings are given the name to our land as a Karnataka, and this land and this region of Badami Chalukya is a great glorious period in the history of our Karnataka. In the whole over the history of our Karnataka, the Badami Chalukyas are the great kingdom who ruled over our Karnataka, and this age networthy not only for the military exploits but also in art and architecture. Those rulers are not only good in the military exploits, and they are good in the art and architecture. They ruled for around 200 years. The king was actively involved in the administration. Those peoples are ruled in 200 years in our Karnataka, and those peoples are actively involved. Those people means the king was actively involved in the administration. The king was divided into the districts is called as a Vishaya. The king was divided in his kingdom into the districts, that is called as a Vishaya, and the administration of that Vishaya is called as a Vishayadipati. Used to look after it, and the village was the smallest unit of the administration. The villages are the smallest unit of the administrative system on that time. The village leaders look after the village accounts. The village leaders are there in a particular village, that people took a village account. The Chalukyas encourages all traditions and sects like that. They are Shaivas and Vishnuvas and the Jains. The Chalukyas peoples are encourages. They have given importance to the Shaivas and Vishnuvas and the Jains. They did not reject any religion in their administrative system. They supported the construction of Jain temples and the Buddhist viharas. They are all supported to build the Jain temples and Buddhist viharas in their region. Now let's move on. The Chalukyas of Badami patronized literature. The Chalukyas of Badami have given importance to the literature also. Kannada and the Sanskrit developed very well in this region. Kannada language is our state language in nowadays. The Kannada and Sanskrit languages are developed in very well on that time. The Kannada was their state language. Yes, Kannada was their state language, and our state language is also a Kannada. During this period, the Tirupadi from the poetry come into existence through there are no literary work produced in Kannada at this time. Before the Chalukyas of Badami, we see that there is no written work in the Kannada language. After them they given more importance to the Kannada language. On that time they started to writing in the Kannada language, and there are many inscriptions written in Kannada. We have the evidence in nowadays also. The many inscriptions are written in the Kannada language. Of the poem in the inscription of Kappe Arabhata of the Badami in the Tripadi. From the Tripadi form the Sanskrit scholar of that time Ravi Kirti, Vijayaki and Kalenika Kumudi Mohotsav, and those written by the Pulikeshi II's daughter-in-law poet Vijayaki. Those and Hara Pravitya of the Shiva Bhattaraka are the important Sanskrit dramas. So those are some important writers and their works which are related to the Chalukyas dynasty. Now let's move on. The Chalukyas of Badami were the great builder as well as the art lover. They built the beautiful temple at Badami, Aihole, Pattatkallu, and those people I have already told that they had given more importance to the art and literature, and those peoples means Chalukyas of Badami's king had built the temple in Badami, Aihole, Pattatkallu. The development a special style of sculpture called as a Chalukya style. They had encourages the special style of sculpturing stone. On that way we say that this style is called as a Chalukya style. Indian architecture. They built a cave temple in the rock of Badami and encourages many artist sculptures. They had built many temples, and they built cave temples, especially in the rock of Badami. Now let's move on. The best temple in the Chalukya style is Aihole, Pattatkallu. Aihole was the one of the cradle of the temple architecture. In this area, the Aihole and Pattatkallu have many temples that the Chalukya kings are built in this area, and they had given importance to the temple and evolution series of the temple architecture was first here we see here the evolution, the building of the many temples we first time we see in this place. This style found it full expressions and Pattatkallu. Those uses from the temple of Lokeshwara in Lokeshwara and Trilikeshwara is here. Those are the names of the temple which are main prominent temples of that time. We got conclusive proof that Chalukya artisans achieved the Torrens sculptures of Vishnu Vihara and Harihara. Those are all about the Chalukya dynasty, and some other information are there. Even in painting receive encouragement. In this area we see that the Chalukya kings are given more important to the paintings also. The Ajanta painting are found are the world famous. Those are the world famous painting which are situated in the Ajanta, and those are painted by the Chalukya dynasty. Now let's move on. Our another dynasty is Pallavas of Kanchi. 350 CE to the 895 CE. The Pallavas are the first king of Tamil Nadu. We see that Pallavas are the first king of Tamil Nadu. They enjoyed a special place among the dynasties which ruled in South India. Many dynasties are ruled in our South India, and that way we see that the Pallavas of Kanchi has given prominent place in the South Indian history. They ruled for the 4th century to 9th century. They ruled in our South India for the 4th century to 9th century BCE, 9th century CE. The beginning they were the officials of Shatavahana. So in the beginning we see that they were the officials of Shatavahana. Shatavahana also a great dynasty of our South India. When the Shatavahana dynasty declined, that the Pallava declared themselves king of the ivory. When the Shatavahana was coming to end, on that time the Pallavas were declared themselves as an independent king, and they started their rule on that time. The Shivaskanda Varma was the first king of this dynasty. Who was the first king of this dynasty? Shivaskanda Varma was the first king of this dynasty. And the Pallavas and Kadambas have the enmity towards each other. The Kadambas and Pallavas are the two important South Indian dynasty. They had enmity towards each other. Subsequently, Pulikeshi II of the Chalukya dynasty defeated Mahendra Varma of the Pallava dynasty. The Pulikeshi II was defeated with the Pallava king Mahendra Varma, and Narsimha Varma first, who came later. It was most famous, and Pallavas king Narsimha Varma first was the famous king of this dynasty, and took revenge to the Chalukyas and defeated the Pulikeshi II and captured Viptapi. In our last part, in our previous session we have studied that how the Narsimha Varma was defeated with Pulikeshi II, and which areas they were captured, and he was captured the Vitapi, and those daring acts won him the title of Mahamala. Vitapikunda. He was on the title called Mahamala and Vitapikunda. Hunasang had visited Kanchi during his region. Narasimhavarma built a city on the sea coast near Kanchi, and this name is Mahabalipuram. And when he was the Hunasang was visited in this area, and he has seen that the Narasimhavarma was built the city in near the sea coast in Kanchi, and he has given name called Mahabalipuram. Many Neolithic temples were built by him. During this region of Aparajita, Pallava, Aditya and Chola dynasty, but put end to the Pallava rule. Through this dynasty, the Pallava rule was coming to end, and they were declined. Now let's move on the contribution of Pallavas. Now let's see what are the contribution of Pallavas. They introduced systematic administration in Tamil Nadu. I already told that they ruled in the region of Tamil Nadu, and they introduced the systematic administration in Tamil Nadu. Their contribution are significant in literature, religion, art, architecture and education. And they had given their significant contribution in the area of literature, religion, art, architecture and education. When the Chalukyas region in Vitapi and the Pallavas in Kanchi, it was the heroic age in the South India. And when we see that the Chalukyas and Pallavas, we say that it is a heroic age in South India. Their kingdom was strong and organized. There were ministers and provincial officers. In this area also we see that they have ruled in a very big region, and that cause they had divided their rule into districts, and they appointed that districts as a particular officer to look over that region. The kingdom had been divided into mandalas, and mandalas, Nadu and Grama. This kingdom was divided into mandalas, Nadu and Grama. The Grama Sabha Dalit were the problem of the village, and Grama Bhojaka look after the village administration. Those are the officers who were look over their own region. The Pallava encourages both Sanskrit and Tamil. Kanchi was the center of the Sanskrit literature. The Pallava has given importance to both the Sanskrit and Tamil languages, and the Kanchi was the center of the Sanskrit. Which is the center of Sanskrit? Kanchi was the center of Sanskrit. Bhairavi and Dandi are the important poets of the Pallavas court. Those are the important poets who are in the court of Pallavas. The King Mahendravarma himself wrote a social drama, Matta Vilasa and Matta Vilasa Prahasana. The king Mahendravarma was himself as a writer, and he wrote a drama called Matta Vilasa Prahasana. The book and many books are written in this region, and Pallava encourages all religion. Pallava has given equal importance to the all religion in their region. The Pallava king were the Buddhist and great scholar of Nalanda University. Dharmapala was born in the Kanchi. The Pallava kings are basically they are the followers of a Buddhist. And the scholars of Nalanda University, Dharmapala. He was born in Kanchi, and since Mahendravarma was the follower of Jainism, and after that we see that Mahendravarma became the follower of Jainism. There were many Jain in this kingdom. In this kingdom we see that the many Jains are lived in this area. The age witnessed that the rise of Bhakti movement. In this means the Pallava region, we see the Bhakti movement was begin in this region. it is also supported to renaissance of the Vedic religion. They are also supported to the renaissance of Vedic religion, and slokas were written in the Tamil. Basically the slokas are in the Sanskrit language. On that time, to people, the common people would understand, and they have to follow those slokas. On that cause, those kings are written those slokas in Tamil language, because Tamil is a regional language of those peoples. Those have became the treasure of the Tamil literature. Those are became the treasure of the Tamil literature in nowadays. Now the Pallava were the lover of art and architecture. The Pallava were also the lover of the art and architecture. They have given important and more preference to the art and architecture in their own region. They built many temples in their kingdom, and which are noteworthy for their artistic style of artistic skill, and Pallava architecture can be classified into temples that have been carved out of the stone. Those temples are a structural pattern. In this region, we see that many temples are built in a different way, and they had given more importance to the sculpturing, and the many temples covered in the rock. They had also given importance to the covered rock temples. Even in Mahaballapura wooden wonderful monolithic sculpture. They have been carved in the temple, and they tell the story from Mahabharata and Bhagavad Gita. The people on that time, they had a sculpture in the wall of those temples, and those walls say that the story of Mahabharata and Bhagavad Gita. The Panchatantras are the famous. The Pancharatha is a famous monolithic temple, and carving of the Ajanta and meditation has emerged as an excellent work of the art. In this region, we see the many excellent works in their temple, and the temple of Kailashnath and Ekambi Vaikuntha Puranal and Kanchi. Those are coastal temples in Mahabalapuram. Mahabalapuram is a city which was built by the great king, and they are excellent example of the ancient Indian architecture. We see that it is an excellent important, and it is one of the evidence to see that those people are lived in this area. The temple became center of the religion and artistic activities. The temple became this religious and artistic activity center. The rural flock and gathered in the country yard and temple in evening and discuss many issues. In the evening time, on that time, the people was combined in one area, and they started discussing their own issues. The people come here during their leisure hours, and either listen of the Purana, sang a devotional song. And when the people are leisure and the people are free, on that time they are visited in this area, and they hear and they sang the devotional song. In the manner, the temple became the social and educational center. On that time, the temple is not only a religious center, and through that the people are always going in that area. On that cause, it will become the social and educational center also. The Pallavas had good naval forces. In the Pallava region, we see that they have a good naval system, and merchants and traders trade relations with the South Asian countries like Malaya, Indonesia, and other. We can see the influence of the Indian language and faith, tradition and culture in those centuries. In those centuries, we see that they had developed the good relationship, and they had developed good friendly relationship with the other kings. On that cause, we see that the Pallavas are Pallavas are great ruler who ruled in this region. In today's session, we have studied about the Chalukyas of Badami and Pallavas of Kanchi. In the Chalukyas of Badami, we have studied how the kingdom was started and how it was declined, and after that we studied the contribution of the Chalukyas. Chalukyas, in that region we see their art, architecture, literature and culture, their religion, those things we have studied, and after that we have moved on to the Pallavas of Kanchi. In that we see who is the founder of this dynasty and how many rulers are there and how their administrative system. After that we see the contribution of Pallavas. In that we have studied the educational, religious and their contribution in the social life, and how the art and architecture of that time, and how they are developed the good friendly relationship with other kings. So those things we have studied in today's session. Thank you for watching this video.